Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Accelerator with Michael Conniff. That's me. We are a home for founders, starters, entrepreneurs, and companies in the startup space, also venture capital firms, angels, family offices, investment firms, and the like. We are here to give voice to what is happening to founders and also to the challenges they face and the challenges also that the investors face. So it's great to have you. You can follow me on Twitter at Michael Conniff. You should also go to any of the major podcast platforms, including Apple, Amazon, Audible, and the like, and subscribe to us. And also feel free to give us a rating. The better, the better, so to speak. But today I am very happy to be joined by my guest, Nektar Baziotis. Welcome, Nektar. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Michael.
And
Very honored to be with you.
yeah, it's great to have you. He is the CEO and founder of ICARUS AI e-learning and e-learning platform. He's also a very instrumental part of the Expert Dojo accelerator. So we're going to talk about both those things because I was lucky enough to be part of a storytelling workshop at Expert Dojo with Brian McMahon. That was a lot of fun and that I really enjoyed. But we're going to first get into your new venture, ICARUS AI e-learning, an e-learning platform. Tell us about how this idea got started and what makes it exceptional, if it is, in such a crowded space.
Um, I started working with IT since 2002. So I have seen several projects, products, and suddenly I got in front of e-learning. And I saw that the impact that it has in education is massive. So, but the problem was that always we had same products, same approaches, and the same ways that the tutors and the teacher and the students would interfere and interact. So I wanted to create something new, something different that it will speak to everybody. So practically, what we did is that we saw that all students they face, especially international students, they face the barrier of language. So we started saying, okay, let's bring the translation inside the videos. Let's bring ways the teacher is going to record their lesson, and from that we can have it a transcript and the translation together. Plus, the student will feel that okay, I can read it in my own language. I can read it in a way that it fits me when it fits me practically. Uh, we also managed to make it very light, so this way we can have limiting the barriers and limiting uh, the problems that students are facing while they frequent the lesson.
Yes. Now, and I, in turn, am honored that you have asked me to participate in this, and I'm intending to put my startup storytelling for unicorns workshop up there very soon. As soon as I get a minute to do it, I've been pretty busy. But so this, let's talk about this translation space for a second. So, how many languages are you offering in translation?
This is an automated translation service that we are providing, and it can cover all known languages, European language, traditional Chinese, Indian, any kind of language that we are offering. Even if,
And where
like
Yeah. So, what about Scandinavia? What about Africa? What about those kind of? How many languages do you cover?
this moment, we are covering more than 30 languages in a
30.
very good translation.
Now, I'm guessing you didn't develop that technology yourself. So, how did you pull that together?
So we used ready-made libraries, and we combined technologies in order to get to this accuracy. We saw several technologies how they interact, especially with speech and also with accents. Like mine. I'm Greek Italian, so you can see here that there is
Yes,
an
I know
accent.
you're Greek and Italian. Yeah.
Yes. So the things that we try to find out which libraries and which technologies can bring us the best result for the students.
And do you present the translation in audio form? Is it in textual form? How do you do that?
It is for now it's in textual form, but the evolution will be also in audio form. The student will be able to choose between the original and the translated audio.
And what about curriculum and course material? How are you going to have a specific focus? I mean, based on your interest in what I'm doing, I'm thinking there's certainly a business focus. But tell me more about that. What else? What else are you thinking in terms of your curriculum?
So we care about having exceptional experts, professors that in their field they have experience and they can bring added value to the students and to professionals. So, like for example, in your course, that will give to several of the students a way to bring their startup, in a storytelling. This is something very unique. For example, startups are need a way to present their company in a very cohesive way in front of investors. This is something that you can solve with your experience and with your course, but not
So
just here, globally. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a global audience, 30 languages, which is very appealing. But tell me, is it fair to call it Icarus AI a business oriented e-learning platform, or is it going to have a broader set of courses?
We are going to allow a broad set of courses. For now we have more business oriented courses, but for example we have also some courses on nanotechnology or some courses on meditation. So we wanted to have like a complete curriculum, as you said. So the student will feel that okay, I can find knowledge from some accredited people here.
And where do you think? And I should ask, like, what's the timing of this? Have you launched, or are you imminent? Are you going to launch soon?
We are going to launch soon. We are creating now the environment that all courses are online, all the material is online. We are testing it, and then we are going to launch it.
So, what do you think is going to be your sweet spot in terms of where do you anticipate you'll have the most traffic in your courses? Other than my course, of course, which we know will be number one. But after that, how do you think? What are you expecting to be popular?
I believe that the startup communities and the business community is very demanding, and they want to see some very very good courses and some very good material. For example, as you mentioned earlier, even from Expert Dojo, we are going to have some courses uh, inside ICARUS. So I expect that there will be a lot of demand from international entrepreneurs and business owners to have an experience, from what we are giving.
And I know this because we've talked and exchanged some paperwork, but you are going to focus on a revenue share. It looks like with your teachers, right? So your
Correct.
teachers make. What do the percentages look like for teachers too in terms of earning revenue?
So we want every teacher that is coming won't pay something in advance, or there are no fees involved. It's a win-win situation. We want to grow together, and we want to spread the knowledge. That's what our vision is.
So, how many courses do you anticipate launching with?
We are going to have around 50 courses when we launch.
Around 50 courses. And what do you I know you have to, I'm asking you to make a prediction here, but how many people do you expect on average per course?
Uh, I would say many, but the many is very vague for now.
Yeah,
But we expected to have from hundreds to thousands people per course registering.
in the thousands, you think?
Right, right.
In the thousands. Well, the teachers certainly hope so because they can make some serious money if that's true. I should say
That's
we can.
this is the thing. The teachers are going to have practically a tool to broadcast their knowledge, but also to create more and give more. You know.
Yeah, and how do you? Some of the courses would be, I assume, would be like a one-off workshop. Others would be spread over time, like the effectively like a semester. How,
Right.
so how extensive? How many courses might somebody get when they sign up for one of yours? Not a workshop, but sort of the more detailed courses.
So there are courses that we're having that are like a master class that you can take it if you want to do it in a day practically, but there are also other courses that you can take it for like 10 weeks or 12 weeks. It depends also on the pace of every student that they wanted to have. For us, we have seen that this is the way forward because everybody's working, everybody's having their daily life and activities. So it's better to give them the ability to go with their pace.
Sure, the teachers are most of them academic? Are some of them non-academic? Like the meditation instructor. How do you? What's the split? If you had to kind of put a number on it or put a figure on it, what do you think that the those from universities and colleges versus everybody else?
I will say around 50-50. And the
Okay.
reason is that we have seen that if somebody has experienced 20 or 30 years or 40 years in the field, it will bring some very very valued knowledge to the students. So we want to have experts but also academics, and that's what we have succeeded so far, to have a balance between the two.
Okay. So, what? Tell me a little bit about your background, and I think your wife's involved too, right? That made you want to do this.
Right. So my background is mathematics, and I did the MBA, and then I did the AI with MIT, and but my passion was always the e-learning. So my company, my software company, is running. We have good projects and good, very good clients, but I want to focus more and more on this because I can see the impact that it has in to everybody. I
And what?
I want to see smiles. That's the
Yeah.
the point.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. What about your wife? What's her background?
She's in political science, and she's a writer for grants. She has won several million for clients through this activity, and she was always saying that knowledge is the new currency, and through that she was always next to me saying, okay, you have to go, if you like it you have to do it.
Do you think the pandemic has something to do with your starting Icarus?
Actually, we formed the company during the pandemic because we have seen that the culture of internet has changed a lot. Everybody goes online. Everybody now is familiar with
Right.
Zoom, is familiar with products like that, and they are also taking knowledge from such products like YouTube or Coursera or everything. So for me, it's like the market now knows this and will not go away from it.
Hmm.
It's a new culture that is being created. And if we see that in the future we will have augmented reality or virtual reality much more in the house, then it seems that the computer and the interaction with the screen is going to be more than less.
Of course. Now, let me ask you the hardest question, which is competition. I mentioned that the space is crowded. Um, it is. It might well be the most crowded space these days, ed tech and education. Um, for this reason, not only entrepreneurs like yourself, who are legion, who are pervasive, but also every university, almost every college is now doing courses online. I, for example, did a course online at California, Berkeley.
Right.
Did a new media workshop. I get emails from them, every day, almost feels like. So there are also MBA, not just MBA programs online, but massive numbers of executive education by schools like Harvard and Penn and Wharton, really big name schools. So what made you think that you can survive given all of that competition, or would you even look at it as competition?
The competition is there. The industry is massive. It's a trillion USD industry, and
Mhm.
for me, competition is also a proof that this is working. So if there is a market, we will get a piece of the market, and we will try to increase that. This is all. Competition is always a way to get better. For me, it's you can
Mhm.
observe it, you can understand it, you can see how they are operating, because they have more experience than you. First of all, they are companies that they are having experience of in e-learning for tens of years, so we are going to see that, take the best out of it, and bring it to us so we can give some good service.
So it would be, the answer would be competition makes you better.
Right. I always believe that it's
Yeah.
it's your it's your best friend. It might be considered as enemy, but it's a best friend.
Another way to put it would be that if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Right. Right.
So you have to make sure it doesn't kill you. But yes,
Correct.
uh, it's
Correct.
a good attitude to have. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit because you're also, I believe, chief technology officer at Expert Dojo.
Right.
Expert Dojo is a really, really interesting accelerator in Santa Monica, California. In fact, today they announced they had just graduated their latest cohort. I got to see them up close and personal because I got to do a virtual workshop on storytelling with the founders in the cohort. Now, you, I think, were there pretty much at the start. How did Expert Dojo get started with you and Brian McMahon?
So I think like 6 or 7 years ago, we met with Brian, and I Brian hasn't formed yet the Expedozo. He had another company. I think it was called Beef Labs or something. I think it was called Beef Labs. And I told Brian that what he does is so much bigger that he has to, go with the idea of the accelerator. And then we started, building the technology behind it, like the website, but also the platform to monitor and understand the investors that they are coming, and also the startups that that we are investing. And from that, we became one of the best accelerators in LA.
What what how do you know you're one of the best? One of the things that puzzles me as somebody relatively new to this space is how you gauge your success. Now, I assume that means in you gauge your success in companies that get funded. Is that right?
I think that there are two major aspects on this. First, as you said, the companies that we are funding, and second, the recognition. And this moment, Expert Dojo is heard everywhere and is participating in all major events as one of the best accelerators.
Yeah, and I think Brian's and your mantra in Dojo, Expert Dojo, is growth. Now,
That's it.
why? is that so important? And we're talking rapid growth, big growth, talking in very big numbers. Why is that so important for a founder who maybe is thinking smaller than that?
There are always two ways, but the growth is something that you put your passion in, you put yourself in. You cannot see any alternatives. You have to give all your strength, all your time, especially all your knowledge to become better and succeed. I think that we are always having like a marginal space and time in order to win, and we have to use it correctly, and that has to be with growth.
So, what does that mean in practical terms? If you're emphasizing growth, how does that focus shift the focus of your program? How does that change what you actually do?
For me, especially, is about sales. How to create more sales, how to get
Okay.
the name of the company out there, recognized, uh, be heard over the competition, also as we discussed earlier,
hmm
and to bring some clients so that they can be the reference for additional growth.
So, how do you generate sales? Sounds like a simple idea.
Right.
Everybody knows you need it. How do you do it?
I personally I believe that sales are happening with interaction. Show your face everywhere. Call, meaning for me, calling or texting with, for example, with LinkedIn um, or via the website of a company. There are several ways now that we can have access to clients, and we have to grow that.
And how about the economics of an accelerator like Expert Dojo? How do you make your money? How do you stay in business?
With practically with success of the companies. That's how we survive.
Do you
If
take an
companies,
equity position in the company? Do
right,
you invest in the company? How does that work?
we invest in the companies, and by having also an equity from the companies.
And how much equity do you generally? Um,
This varies. We have different sections for different stages also of the companies. So yeah, this I cannot give you a precise number because it's different every
it's,
time, I would say.
it's variable. So how much cash do you typically invest in a company?
I would say a range from 25 to 100,000 is something that Dojo is investing.
Okay, and is that generally a convertible note?
Uh, Depends. Depend again. It has to do with the negotiation
Sure.
on the stage of the company. That's the thing because
And
we
is yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
because several times we take companies that are early stage so they can grow. You know
Give
that's why
analysis.
we are having the cohorts. We're having experts that are giving knowledge to these companies so they can grow further.
So you help them in lots of ways. You might take a percentage of equity that varies. You might invest a sum of money from 25 to 100,000, and by making them grow, you of course make your stakes that much more valuable, and you get
Correct.
it. You get into a nice cycle. Um, and I assume Expert Dojo is going to continue to another cohort, another year,
Yes, and another year. This
and
is something that
hopefully,
this is something that we like very much doing, and I think it's very successful because bringing together also the startups and the experts, it gives them the opportunity to understand how they can operate their daily business.
of course. Now let me ask you this: you have your own software company. You also have Expert Dojo that you're involved in, and so you have those experiences. You're watching entrepreneurs every year, different entrepreneurs. You're listening to what experts are saying. How has that experience of being involved with an accelerator, your own accelerator, um, how has that shaped what you're doing with Icarus?
A lot. It made me understand that first of all I have to act. I cannot wait till the product is perfect. there is not going to be a moment actually that the software is going to be perfect. So more that I will invest, more time I lose by bringing the software in front of people. So I have to be active. I have to um, show the company and my face in front of clients. And the other thing is that there are investment opportunities out there, but there is always a great match between investor and a great match between with a company. So it's always like what you give, what you are getting, and it's better to get people that they are giving you advices to grow, advices to understand how you can create from nothing, from an idea, a big company, rather than take a check and then run out of money very very soon.
So you said something very important there. You say I have to act. You have to take
Right,
action. You have to be. I hate the word proactive, but you have to take action.
right.
Um, Now, have you raised money for this venture, or have you been able to bootstrap it so far?
Both. We've raised money. We are now in discussion with also a big investing group. But most of it is came from us. We see that the investments are like a strategic partnership that can grow the company and that can bring the company to the next level, rather than just to have the money in order to make a payroll, for example.
Now, let me give you. Let's have a final question. It's a husband and wife question. So, you're
Okay.
working with your wife. You're the technical person. How do you split up the duties? I think I have a good feel for what you do. What does she do?
She's for this she's mostly curating the courses. She's helping the experts and the academics to bring the courses to a, a pleasant online view.
Ready to go. Ready to go. Yes. Now,
Right.
and is it just the two of you? Is there anyone else in the company now?
In the company has uh, four shareholders. Actually, she's not part, meaning she's an advisor in the company. But we are having four shareholders and four advisors as well.
Okay, so you're small. You're probably going to grow. If you get some money, you'll have to grow.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so Nektar Baziotis is the CEO of and founder, co-founder, I guess, of Icarus AI e-learning platform, where God willing, you'll be able to take my storytelling, startup storytelling for unicorns course soon. Um, but I want to thank you for being with us, Nektar. I've really enjoyed it, and of course, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Michael. It's an honor to be with you, and I'm very happy that we have this discussion.
Well, me too. This has been the Accelerator with Michael Conniff. We're here for startups and founders and entrepreneurs, also VCs, angels, investment firms, family offices. You can find me at Michael Conniff, MICHAELCONNIFF. That's on Twitter. My website is michaelconniff.com. All of our podcasts are on YouTube and all the major podcast platforms. Please subscribe and remember to tell your friends and also to give us a great rating. Thank you for being with us today for this version of the Accelerator, and we'll be back before you know it.